Hi, you are watching SightsIn Plus, and this is Umesh Srivastava. Please do subscribe the channel for the HR news, for HR updates, and conversation with the top-notch CHROs, thought leaders, and business heads. Today, we are going to dive deep employee experience with the evolution of HR. If you look at the evolution of HR, so it has been into five stages till now. So HR 1.0 and HR 2.0, HR 3.0, HR 4.0, and now we are in current paradigm of HR 5.0. If you look at the employee experience, so we are talking a lot of in the 5.0 as well, and the well-being part that is also in 5.0. We are talking about diversity, inclusion, a lot of things are there. But as far as HR 4.0 is concerned, it is a digital HR which we are talking about. So employee experience, if you look at, so a lot of technologies are there in the market as well. In HR tech, tools are there which are helping us in employee experience part. Joining us, two very esteemed and eminent HR leaders. Let me introduce Ms. Rajita Singh. She is the Chief People Officer at Kyndryl India, and Mr. Harjeet Khanduja, a very renowned face, and his Senior Vice President Human Resources at Reliance Jio. So my first question would be that how do you see the employee experience with the evolution of HR?
So, first is thank you for inviting us to the show. Mm. Let me first define what is one, two, three, four, and how people uh, actually see one, two, three, four. In the earlier days, um, it was like you do your employee experience survey once in a year. So it used to be an annual affair. And most of the companies, when I started my career, this used to be a big annual event that you actually try to understand what is the pulse of the organization. You uh, have a list of it used to be like a booklet where uh, 5 to 7 sections are there, and you collect feedback on that, and then you compare that with last year, this year, and you try to benchmark it with other companies. That was employee experience 1.2. Then people said in 1 year, the whole game changes. So it needs to be more frequent. And then mobile also came. And at that point in time, the whole focus shifted from 1.0 to 2.0. What people started calling 2.0, that instead of doing a long survey once in a year, let's do over a short duration, small surveys. And based on those surveys, we get some insights, and those insights we will use for feedback for improving our systems and processes and things like that. So with 2.0, it was a mix of annual feedback and the pulse survey which used to be there. Then um, then came further BI got developed, and people said now we can have better insights. And uh, whatever surveys we were doing, so we started preparing dashboards for those surveys. Um, First time there was a capability based on AI tools that you can actually get dashboards which can give you some meaningful insights, that this is what your people are saying, and you are able to comprehend what your people are saying, even if they are saying that in language. That was 3.0. And frankly speaking, half the industry is still struggling with 3.0, that how to make it work, how that feedback is captured. And if you are doing, say, 4 or 5 questions on a weekly basis, then whatever responses you are getting, how you are collating them and how you are comprehending them and how you are getting meaningful insights from them. And here is something which is 4.0, which has come. Uh, I believe this was Josh Bersin who wrote a paper on employee experience 4.0 after researching a couple of organizations. So in 4.0, what they're talking about is they're saying um, that you actually get insights. You do pulse surveys on a weekly basis, get insights based on those weekly surveys, and then make them actionable. That is one aspect of 4.0. And second is they say that if you are doing EX, you actually map EX with customer experience and develop a correlation there. There are a couple of companies which actually do this. Hyatt does this correlation of EX with CX, and that is one of the case studies in EX 4.0. Another is Walmart. Walmart has been using a tool called Medallia, and they have been running weekly pulse surveys, and they analyze those weekly pulse surveys and send the insights of those weekly pulse surveys, and they do it across countries. And these insights on a weekly basis go to their managers, and their managers are supposed to take action on that. And it is not that all the companies have done it this way. Uh, Bank of America, for that matter, they have implemented 4.0, and they also use the same platform, uh, Medallia. They said onboarding experience. We are going to monitor onboarding experience. And what they have done is, suppose the person has joined and the person is facing some problem. Oh, where I have come. So you know that something has gone wrong with the experience, and you send that feedback to the respective HR or the respective manager. Boss, there is a problem. You need to talk to this person. Or if the person is saying, "Oh, my Lenovo is not working," or my computer is not working, then that ticket gets raised and goes to IT guy, and IT guy is supposed to fix the computer. So it is that level of integration which is going to come, which is envisaged in employee experience 4.0. And if industry comes to that level, right now we are talking about big players doing this. If more and more people start doing EX 4.0, then all the insights which we capture, you can actually make those insights meaningful, actionable, and you can see the result in day-to-day functioning. That is what my understanding of employee experience 4.0 is.
No, absolutely. Rajita, as Harjeet said, that many industries are still struggling, to match up with the 4.2 as well. So, how do you see the employee experience in current paradigm of human resources?
I think the current, let me say this, right? This is like the latest fashion. Okay, and this is not fast. It is fast fashion in a way because the rate of, change of the speed has become a lot more. But the fact of the matter is that till the time I don't understand what problem I'm trying to solve, it becomes difficult to deploy and come up with something that is meaningful. So to Harjeet's point, while Josh Bersin published, a study after doing the research papers that have been published in the last 1 or 2 months, which essentially talk of AI and tech transformation version 5.0 for the industry. Okay, and over there they beautifully put it out. They've said, it's that entire HR life cycle that involves. So essentially, what it's trying to do is that whether it's performance, do I need something on hiring? What is my problem statement? What am I trying to solve? And basis, or is it learning? Are people upskilling and reskilling themselves a lot more? So, or is the organization so stressed that I essentially need to be focusing just on well-being and advanced well-being, right? Will it tell me what to do, how to do, and so on and so forth? So the point I'm trying to make is that when you look at it from a 5.0 perspective, technology will come in, but the biggest influence that will happen in as far as HR and experience is concerned for leaders, for clients, for employees, it is a performance management system which will essentially get impacted because all these are feeders into that. And we could possibly quote some example like Virgin Pulse's health and well-being platform It essentially gives you, sleep patterns, and it also tells you, what is good for you, what type of how do you adopt a healthier lifestyle. Then there are organization, then there are apps like Mindify, Calm. These are all integrated. So till the time you don't integrate all of these together, which will give you a holistic insight, because today we are in a hybrid workplace. Not everybody comes in office. So physically, even if I see you, or even if I see you virtually, I'm not going to be able to tell you because I barely meet you for a few minutes. So if I'm trying to come up with an intervention which actually makes a difference and makes the meaning, I think it's important to integrate things. So that's my 2 cents on it. Of course, there are a lot of tools that are being used today. Microsoft's Copilot. Some organizations say you can't use ChatGPT, you can't use Copilot, you can't do this because then you'll stop thinking. It's made your life and your job role a lot more simple. Just a few minutes ago, we were just, having a lighter moment saying that technology is advanced so much that we don't need, a team to do the RFPs when you're going to bid for contracts. Everything can be automated. Just put in the questionnaire and it'll give you exactly what you need to tell to the client when you're bidding. So I think, but then the fact of the matter, what differentiates us is the special touch, because we understand what our client wants, we understand what our employee population will want, and we also understand what people are looking to do. So it's a holistic view of the whole thing.
Right, right. Harjeet, yeah, as we're talking about the employee experience especially, so there are a lot of tools are there, a lot of apps are there. If you look at the HR tools, HR tech tools, so for the payroll, we have the tool; for the employee reward, we have the tool; for the recognition, we have the tool; for the performance, management, we have the tools. A lot of tools are there. How do you see, if you look at the transformation of employee experience, so how these tools, how these technologies are helping us in transformation of the employee experience?
Picking from where Rajita left, look, when employee experience uh, 3.0 was going on, at that time, it was like you take care of experiences of employees, the touch points. And like she said, right now, say half the people are in hybrid. So if an employee is hybrid, you are going to track the person's entire life, how this person is working at home. Is the setup proper at home? Is the person is able to work in an ergonomic environment? Now, that is also ergonomic, that is also a experience touch point. Earlier, it was limited to a few things. Now, this is like entire employee life cycle, which comes into employee experience. And when you start designing, look, in employee experience, we generally think that tools are important. It is not that tools are important. It is how you are designing the experience. So, when you go to the airport and you are getting onboarded in the plane, so when you get inside the plane, somebody tells you namaste. They can tell you good morning also. Then they make you sit. Then they tell you, okay, these are the safety instructions. This is how safety is to be taken care of. Uh, make your seat forward. This is how you put the belt. What they do there, that is a defined experience that anyone who comes in the plane will remember that somebody does namaste or somebody does good morning. Then you sit in the plane, somebody tells you, uh, this is how you are going to behave in the plane. You can't go inside the lavatory and smoke. So you are actually telling that in this plane or in this organization, this is how you are going to behave till the time you are in this organization. These are the finer points. I actually went to one of the book festivals and mm, I wrote that book and they called me. When I reached there, there was a young student who received me. And he met me and he said, "Sir, I am so excited to meet you." And I was like, I'm not that big a celebrity that somebody will be so excited to meet me, but I felt good. that, okay, this guy is so excited to meet me. Then I went to the venue. There also, the person who was standing behind me, he was like, I'm so excited to meet you. And by the evening, I knew that everyone there was so excited to meet me because that is how they created the experience. It is how you make people feel welcome. So I figured out this is their training, but that is what people expect, that how you are going to touch their people want to feel important in their lives. One of my mentors told me early in my career. So everyone wants to be hero. Can you make that person hero at least one day in his or her life? So when you're designing experience, it is not the tools which are going to help you. Tools might help you in information flow and in analyzing certain things. Experiences you have to create. And the difference is now you are taking the entire life cycle of an employee and you're saying, how is the holistic experience for an employee looking like? And how you can improve that experience as a say as a end-to-end package rather than creating a few experiences that we will celebrate birthday for you. That is one experience. Now it is not point-based experiences. It is entire full life cycle, how the experiences are created. I hope I have answered your question. For me, tools are not that important. It is your creativity, um, which which actually determines how the experience should be.
Yeah, absolutely. More than tool creativity that matters. And Rajita, we also call it, keeping the people at first. So that is also a theory we in digital world, especially when we are talking about. We also call it like human and machine. This is the era of human and machine. Both are working together. How do you see here the human touch of those power skills, the human skills? How do you see the importance of these skills with the employee experience in this era?
I think it's only growing because there is this thing of deficit, right? Earlier, what used to happen was when everybody used to work physically co-located at a space, you would have chai breaks together, you had to have lunch breaks together, then you would have a chai break again, then you would have dinner before going back home. So there were a lot of touch points that gave you that sense of belonging, that sense of purpose, of working in a company, what I'm trying to accomplish. I like my people. There has been a huge transition from working. I still remember a couple of years back, I had hired somebody in my marketing communication team, and she was reporting to me, and she came back and she said, Rachita, we are just co-workers. And I said, Bhai, I don't understand the concept of co-workers. You're spending more than 60% or 70% of your waking hours with me. I'm beyond your co-worker. Okay, so let's start that this is a relationship we are building for however long it lasts, but it is something that we're going to be committed to. So when you move out of that phase to this phase today, now people are longing to talk. They say you're spending all the time on your mobile, you're doing everything on your mobile, be it Insta, the real life and the real life and all that stuff. So when we are designing experience, I think it's equally important to develop those touch points of humans. There is this research that was done by Gallup long back. Okay, I think in 1990s, Marcus Buckingham had done it, that people leave managers, not their organizations. Okay, so what's happening today is while you are automating things, you are making things a lot more easier, you're making things a lot more intuitive using the different HRMS tools and so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is still that I don't have a connect with my manager. I don't talk with him or her. I don't get a sense of, acha, theek hai, this is what I wanted to bounce off, this is how I feel, blah, 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 blah. So the lack of too much of interaction is also killing people. And when I mean killing, I don't mean literally. I mean that, it is that deficit feels like, how do I fill the void? I'm working. Okay, but then what? What's the purpose of my life? What am I trying to solve? So bringing that aspect of, honestly, when I started off at that time, they used to say HR does calls everybody to cut cakes and do thank God it's Friday. Okay, I used to hate it. I totally used to hate it because I said HR is a lot more than that. In that time, I was a fresher. And now, when you look at it, we are back to doing engagement activities. Why are we doing engagement activities? We want people to come back. We want people to experience each other's company. We want people to see what we are doing, for the country as a whole, and what impact the company is doing. So it's very important, to your point. Sorry, a long one, but till the time I don't see you and meet you, Romesh, I've met you only virtually. Once I meet you, in person, that connection that I will establish with you will be very different. Correct? Abhi though I can tell you, sorry, Romesh, just type and leave it at that. But once we connect at that level, it's going to be very different. And that's what the entire organization is trying to do. Everybody's trying to build organizations. And that's an important factor as far as I'm concerned.
Harjeet, would like to add you something?
Yeah, although I have also met you virtually, but I like you over many of my connections which I have met in real life. So trust is built when you work together. So maybe we are working together virtually, and you have invited me to various forums. You have encouraged me to write, and whatever you have contributed in my journey, I'm actually thankful for that. So um, what I want to add is, look, people and automation both have a part to play in the experience journey. One aspect is, let me give you a scenario. You would have seen, actually, I also used to think, what will technology do in the employee experience? This is all about human. So if both of us are there, then it is a connection between us. But it is the technology who is standing between us, which we are not able to see. So technology is enabling. If you remember, there was a movie called Ghazi Attack. Ghazi Attack was, we were able to avoid because there was one information which was available that this attack is going to happen. And there was a movie called Razi, which was made on this subject, that how that information was obtained and transferred to the government by a raw agent, that this information should be available. Now, you can do all kinds of surveys using technology, but if you are not going to read those surveys, and if you are not going to utilize those insights to improve experience of your people, then technology can't do anything. But technology can definitely like collect all that data. You can crunch that data, get insights, and most of the times it will be invisible. And it is good that it remains invisible. But if you use technology properly, the kind of experiences you will create for your people will be amazing ones. So that's what my take on technology and human balance is all about.
Yeah, and one thing is also very important. We look for the ROI all the time. So how we can measure the employee experience? Is there any metrics? How we can measure it?
Yeah, frankly speaking, if you ask me, there are many measures. So look, employee experience, you can measure using EX. You can actually, if you are able to obtain a correlation between EX and CX, you can measure CX, EX. You can actually look at absenteeism of your people. You can look at productivity of your people. You can look at attrition of your people. You can look at wellness of your people. If you're doing wellness programs and seeing health of your people, you can, if it is contributing to your brand, you can actually look at offer drop ratio. You can look at how many vacation days people have utilized instead of that people want to come. And we want to tell people, uh, take a break. You can see how many internal promotions are happening, that people want to stay and grow within your organization. And you can also go to Glassdoor and see, acha, you pick the glass on Glassdoor. Uh, so you can go to Glassdoor and check the ratings on Glassdoor, that what people are feeling and what people are saying. because you already know by doing EX what your people are saying, and you can understand, you can fix the real issues so that the experience of employee improves, and that creates uh, good brand value for you.
Harjeet has already given a whole glossary of what you could do, because everything that we do, especially when you talk of experience, can be metricized in some form or the other. There are softer aspects that actually touch people, which would possibly come under the culture realm, right? And then there would be some things on the leadership side as well. So there's lots that can be done. There are lots of reports, a lot of benchmarks also today that can be done. So yes, I absolutely agree with everything that Harjeet had said.
And how do you see, if you look at the, we are talking about the employee experience 5.0, and how do you see what are going to be the future trends into this? Maybe if you look at employee experience 6.0 or 7.0, then what are going to be the employee experience trends?
See, they are the experience is going to be a lot more usage of depending. So then, the first thing that I think we should have said when we started off is it depends on the evolution of the organization, right? Because not every organization has the appetite, to follow suit with regards to technology. It also depends on whether it's compliance heavy, ethics heavy, integrity heavy. So there are a whole lot of other loops that get shifted in. But if you just talk at a very high level, some very big hygiene things that will come in is AI chatbots. Anyways, they're there for anything and everything. They'll possibly do everything. The single sign-on that essentially helps you. Hybrid models and flexibilities on those hybrid work models, will be a key to the future, experiences that come in. Then interaction of, the LLMs, the machines, AI, and how does that entire process work? I think how the process work becomes equally important. And, in the middle of all of this, diversity and inclusion and the shift towards that using technology is going to become a lot more meaningful, I would say. The way, performance management, I've already said, is going to become very, very important and critical, on that aspect. But the most important, I think, for people is personalization of where they are, what they think, what their career aspirations are. So how are we using technology, as that, and how are they working on it? Additionally, becomes equally important. So, I think those are going to be the important ones, given the way things are changing. But of course, adding empathy to everything that we do is what's going to be the key or the differentiator for every organization. The degree of what we use is what's going to make a difference.
Ajit, I think we have been able to discuss all the important elements of this topic. So anything which is important and we did not touch here, any concluding remark from the side?
For me, it is मन की बात, मुंह की बात सुने हर कोई, दिल का दर्द न जाने कौन, मतलब दिल के दर्द को जाने कौन. So if we are able to understand मन की बात of people, either using AI or by personally interacting with them, that is the crux of EX. And if you know your people well, then definitely they are going to improve the experience of your customers. This has been said many times, and that is the baseline for EX. That if you treat your people well, they are going to treat your customers well.
Any of your quick comments, Rajita?
I think it's a very competitive world. While collaboration is important, it's going to get into high performance. And providing for an ecosystem that helps people understand is what makes the difference.
Thank you so much, Harjeet and Rajita, for joining the conversation and sharing your wonderful thoughts. Thank you so much.